I think we're live. I'm not sure, but I think we're live. Anyhow, I'm going to refresh my screens just to double check. Where's my other screen? Yeah. Hello, Misfit Crafter. How are you doing? I don't think we're... If you can hear me, please say hello. Okay. Okay, now I know we're live. So anyway, I'm... Debbie J's Crafting Corner. So I am live on... Okay, I know now I have to turn this down. I am live on both my channel and on Black Sheep 303 Creatives, Elena's channel. So I know I'm live on both because I have, if somebody says something on my live, it says stuff in my ears. So anyway, welcome on in. If you guys have got any questions for me, I would love to hear it. I'm kind of all over the place right now because I just finished doing a class over on my EDU website. A lot of you guys did sign up to get the, if you got the VIP pass, you got free access to the classes and stuff. So there will be a replay up in a day or two as soon as I get the edited version done. But let me see what we've got. I don't see any questions yet on Elena's channel. So let me take a look at mine because I know you guys are over there too. Kim in Alaska, welcome. I love it when it talks in my ear. And you guys are seeing a little bit pop up on the screen. That's kind of, let's just see a little bit about what happens on my channel. So anyhow, I am just, Gloria's in the house. Fabulous. Welcome. And again, I am still trying to get to my page. It would help if I had my keyboard out instead of just trying to click around, right? Okay, now I can see the folks that are here, and I have it muted, so it's not going to be... Okay, Catherine says, so I'm sorry, I think I asked all my questions last week. Well, fine, be that way. No, I'm just teasing, honey. And it's possible. I did try to answer everything I could with my limited... Hello, Miss Ellen. But with my limited knowledge about everything, yeah, Cricut Joy. I am learning the Cricut Joy. And I did make those fun ornaments. So let me show you those things again. The ones that were in the class, if you saw the class, were these guys. And I would love to know whether or not you guys are getting the full download. You should be getting all of the designs. So you should be getting the design for Bah Humbug. Yes, Bah Humbug with Naughty List Legend, and for the deer. Now this is actually, if you watch the video you know, but this is actually one design that I cut out and I was able to salvage and not screw up the negative space from the cut from when I cut those out. Again, I did all of the design and everything, showed you how to use your Cricut Joy for that. And I cut it out on my Scan and Cut because that's the machine that I've got. Last week on the live stream we did last week, because a lot of you guys hadn't seen it, I went ahead and took a die out that's actually a Spellbinder die I have in my stash, cut out some vinyl, and made these guys. And all of these are using the wood burning, the scorch marker. Yes, scorch marker. It's all using a marker. So those are super, super cool. Catherine says, I need an award for being a Naughty List legend. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing. I wanted to make sure that if something was mentioned in the video that you guys came across after, not having gotten to see it before chatting with me, that, that I was able to get those questions answered as well. I've been real busy this past week doing lots of fun things, lots of crafty projects, most of which are now up on my YouTube channel if you haven't already seen them. And most of them have to do with Christmas. Gloria's asking, Catherine, any relation to a Virginia? Hello, Linda. Where did I get the scorch marker? The scorch marker I got it off of Amazon. It should be in the supply list that should be underneath or around somewhere on the page where you watch the presentation from, and you do still have access to the presentation until I believe it's 9 a.m. tomorrow, because they opened up at 9 a.m. for 24 hours. So you do have a chance to watch that if you haven't already. All the supplies are there though. There are other places you can get this. I think you can get it at Michael's or Joann's, but I'm not 100% sure. And what it basically does is it adds a liquid to your surface that when you heat it with a hot enough heat tool, and I'm not talking about our heat gun we use for embossing. No, that's nowhere near strong enough. You need to use one of the heavy duty ones. I used my husband's that he keeps in the garage. His is actually not as strong as what they recommend. His is, and I listed it down below as well, along with a link. That one has 1,000 watts and they recommend 1,400. So that means that when I was doing, and you would have seen it on the live last week, when I was doing these, when I was heating up the liquid that soaks into the wood, at the beginning, they didn't burn as fast. After a little bit, the gun got hotter. And because of that, because it got hotter, it wound up turning everything that nice dark black faster, which means there's some places that are still a little bit pinkish purple that I could probably go over again and get it to burn a little bit more. But that's kind of how it worked. Okay, Linda says, thank you very much. What type of wood do you use for the ornament to make? Okay, does the type of wood you use for the ornament make a difference on how well? I believe the answer is going to be yes. Reason I can say that is that I did do a little bit of experimenting before I bought the wood rounds. I was experimenting with some stuff we had here because, like, okay, I haven't tried this before. Let me learn a bit more before I try to show people how to do things. Because I figure if I can do it, you can definitely do it, and I'm more than happy to show you how. I tried it out on basically some stuff we had in the garage. Some of them did not burn as well. Wood rounds that you get from Amazon or a craft store, these work fabulously. And you don't have to let me turn around so it's got the pretty side. You don't have to do them using a scorch marker. Erin showed how you can just use regular vinyl decals for it, and that works fabulously as well. Also, I showed in my video that there is a difference when you decide to do like spar urethane over the top, because you can see, I'm going to switch my camera. I'll let you guys see this. If I can find the button, who's got the button? Okay, so this one, they have a little bit of a different color. These started off the same. This one looks a little bit muted, and this one looks a lot more vibrant of a color. And that's because I used spar urethane on this one. I was thinking just to protect it. If I had to do it over again, I would not use the spar urethane, but I did show that in the video. Gloria is saying, I have an embossing folder for wooden rounds too. Hello, Miss Cordelia. Welcome, welcome. So Gloria is going to have to tell me what she's talking about with that, because I haven't seen that, but that would be kind of fun to see. So making sure I've got my comments all up. Yeah, it would help while I'm in StreamYard is fantastic. It's actually pulling all of the comments into one spot. And of course, I wasn't looking at that one. I'm trying to look at the actual chat in all of the different places. Have I tried making my own paste with ammonium chloride? No, I have not. Do you have a video on that? I don't know what I mean. Ammonium chloride, that sounds like chemistry to me, and I'm not really a chemistry girl. But that doesn't mean I can't learn how to do it. I mean, I figure I can learn how to do anything, but I have not tried that. Okay, Cordelia says, my husband had supper ready, so you had to eat. Okay, I understand. And they're now talking about food. So Ellen just had turkey pot pie. Hello, Miss Ruth. Welcome, welcome. What is the pen? Oh, it is what's in the pen. Okay, so she has now seen that you can... Oh, thank you, Miss Judy. Judy just became a member over on my YouTube channel. This is kind of interesting, and I'm going to apologize, Elena, because I did not know there was going to be this much interaction between the different channels. But I do want to thank you, Miss Judy, for that. That is fabulous. Yeah. So anyway, the scorch marker, she says, has got ammonium chloride in it, and that makes sense. I think I've heard the term enough to think that that's probably what causes it to be able to burn. So that would be interesting. I may have to talk to my husband about that and see if we can figure that out. That'd be kind of cool to learn how to do. I mean, we can make our own, shimmer glimmer paste and glitter glue and different things like that. So so kind of like a stickles or a glitter paste, we can make those. So why not be able to make some of the other things? That is kind of cool. Okay, any other questions? So what I've been doing today, and Miss Cordelia knows because she was in there, okay, I'm going to go to questions instead. I was supposed to be able to make it with TTHA and water and thickening, but trying to find a good recipe. Well, when you find that, let me know. Okay, what events do I have coming up? We just did a class today. It's still available if you want to purchase it for the replay. And if you got the all access pass, guess what? You were automatically enrolled in the subscription, I believe. Anyway, so you should have access to that one as soon as I get the replay up, and I'm planning on getting that one done sometime in the next 24 hours or so. So we're going to go get that done. Then we do a live stream every Tuesday. So it's kind of an event, but it's not. But I do a live stream every Tuesday night. Love for you to come and hang out over at Debbie J's Crafting Corner over on YouTube. And then next big thing is we've got the Card Maker Success Summit coming up next month. I believe it's on the 11th. I have to actually look at all the images and stuff to get it straight because I've had so many things going on. I've been getting a lot of projects done. But yes, we do have the Card Maker Success Summit, and it's going to be Christmas. And I think I might have the card out here. I might still have the card out here. If I don't have the card out here, I might have at least the die out here. Here's the card. Here's the card. This is the one that I made for the Card Maker Success Summit. And yes, it's one of the ones that move. So yes, it moves. So this is the one that we're going to be making in the Card Maker Success Summit coming up this next month. Yeah, you can already sign up now. I do have different places out that's got my link so you can get access to that. Yeah, including if you go to my website, there is a pop-up that comes up as well. So that's probably going to be the fastest, easiest way to get to my link to go over to there. Catherine's wanting to know what my favorite ornament is. I can't say. I'm not 100% sure. When I was growing up, my grandmother every year would send us ornaments. For my first Christmas, I got one. For my second, I got two, all the way up to, I think it was like 18. And my sister, same deal. She got one for her first Christmas, two for her second, all the way up. And unfortunately, she passed away when she was 17. So I got all of her stuff. So that's back to the ornaments part. But yeah, I've got a ton of ornaments. And even back then, they wouldn't all fit on the tree. So I don't really have a favorite. But the thing is, I do like making new things. I do like making things. I made a couple of years ago, the ornaments with the glitter inside, the round globe ornaments with yeah, I did one of those, and I did the Grinch. So I've got a couple of those floating around. I've got some Doctor Who things, the TARDIS and stuff. So I think those are kind of cool. Misfit is wanting to know best place I found to get the blank ornaments besides the woods. I basically look on Amazon. I find that a lot of times on Amazon, you can get a good price for things. And if you have a problem, you can return it on a lot of stuff. So I do shop at Michael's and Joann's a lot because they're so close. But that's kind of where I go for some of if it's something that's out of the ordinary, a lot of times I'll go ahead and do that. This is my first box of wood ornaments, so I can't really say for sure. I have gotten some of the other type of ornaments either at Dollar Tree or at Michael's, and I still have a bunch of them that I haven't used yet. So maybe I'll do some more projects with them this winter. Uh, So hello, Miss D. So they want to know what is my favorite crafty thing to make. At this point in time, it's cards. I'm one of those people that for as long as I can remember, if I saw something like at a craft show or something like that, when I would be just out there looking, I would say, I bet I could make that. And then I wouldn't do it. So that was kind of me for a long time, raising my girls and things like that. But then a few years back, um, I decided to try my hand at painting again, which I hadn't done in a long time. We've got a local artist. His whole thing is called Paint the Trail. My husband is an avid cyclist. We've got some really nice bike trails, and he would basically do murals on fence posts that were lining the bike path. And he let me do a couple of them. So he drew them out and I got to paint them. So it was kind of a paint by number, but that was my first big thing at getting back into the crypt. Welcome, Rudy. So anyway, that was kind of my first getting back into it. It's like, you know what? I bet I could do this stuff again. It's been a while. Yeah. Because I used to like to draw and stuff when I was in school, and I just haven't done it in pretty much forever. But I did that, and then I've done a couple painting with a twist, and then I decided at one point, I got back into crafting really because of my planner. I decided to do some things with my planner and get back focused and try to get some things done. This was like right after I got out of college, and I wanted to take do a lot more focus at my job. But when I pulled out my existing planner that I hadn't used for years, I couldn't make myself use it. I used to use it when I was with my late husband, but he had passed away, so just picking up the thing made me cry. So I bought a cheap planner, and then I didn't like it. I didn't like the layout. So, okay, I bought a different one. I still didn't like the layout, but at least this one had rings. So I started making my own, and I started looking up on YouTube. YouTube University rocks. So I looked up on YouTube how to do some of these things and came across, oh, you can put stamps in your planner. That's a cool thing to do. And then I discovered stamping on cards, and I've never been able to go back. I mean, this is my life now. I love making cards. They are basically mini works of art that you can get done fast, and it doesn't take a lot of storage space, and you can give them to people and brighten their day. I absolutely love everything about making cards. We need a Pinterest board of all the things we said. We said we were. Do I sand them? So I'm thinking you're talking about these. I don't sand my cards, but no. But I think you're talking about the wood rounds. I did not sand these at all. These are straight out of the box from Amazon. I've actually got the box here. I think they're pre-sanded. So these are. Let me switch the camera. These are. I can't even pronounce it, but they're natural wood rounds. Again, I found it on Amazon. I think it was about 15 bucks for 50 of them. So I've got a lot that I can still make. Yeah. And I think this came with it. I'm not sure. These are some other things you could use. I got these actually from Dollar Tree, a big set. However, if you do any kind of heat on these, it will cause them to warp, because I did one and that's exactly what happened. And do I have it here? Here's the one that I did. That was on one of these guys, because that was my initial thought. And then because it warped, I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. So it did warp, and it looks like it's still a little bit bent. You can see that little bit of warping. Not bad. So you could definitely still hang this on the tree. And then I used some, I believe this was Tim Holtz watercolor pencils to just add a little color to it, because I wanted something a little bit more. Hello, Miss Bethany. Welcome, honey. So yeah, I think this turned out super cute, and I could definitely hang this on a tree. And I'm thinking it probably needs to have the date on the back as well. I like that idea. But yeah, I did not sand any of these. They came pre-sanded. If you are cutting a tree, if you're cutting a branch, I would recommend sanding them to try to get the smooth finish. But that's entirely up to you. Frankie says hi. So Bethany has some littles, and her littlest one said hello to everybody. Oh, and for those of you that are on my YouTube channel that know me over there, you can probably see that the lines across me are a little bit different. I got blinds. I finally got my blinds in, and I'm able to adjust them, but I didn't think of that before going live. So right now, it shouldn't go into my eyes. I don't think we're going to be live long enough for the light to start hitting me in the face. Oh, thank you. Dee's Light says, love the way yours came out. Thank you. Thank you. Do I have a favorite kind of card to make? I have to say that most of my cards are clean and simple. I do have my favorite seasons, one of which is Halloween. That was probably where I started doing the most card making for the first time, was when Halloween rolled around. I decided, I'm going to make a bunch of these, because here's the thing. Here's a secret. If you're nervous about trying out a new technique, do it at Halloween, because regardless of how it turns out, it's going to look like you meant it to do that. So that gave me a chance to practice, and I made a ton. And I worked at a company where I knew enough people that I made 300. There was a couple of years I made 300 Halloween cards and 300 Christmas cards and sent them out to everybody. So that was really, really fun. And if there's something that you like doing, if you like, putting together pieces of paper, or if you, hello, Miss Susan, welcome, welcome. So if you like, putting things together, like this is a bunch of die cuts. That's basically all it is. It's die cuts, it's glitter card stock, it's a stencil where I put some more glitter paste down, that kind of thing. That's one way to make cards. Another way, of course, is to color. So this is a stamped image that I colored, and this one is a Halloween one. So yeah, you can do lots of fun things. It just depends. What do you like to do? And do you want to do grungy? Do you want to do clean and simple? I tend to go towards clean and simple. I like a clean layout. I don't like a lot of clutter. I have never made Frankenpaper that I liked, but a lot of people love the collage look, and I have never been able to wrap my brain around how can I make it that it's going to look good to me. Most of my cards, I have to trim them down just a little bit to get that little bit of a border around the outside, but that's, again, part of my clean and simple design. But I experiment with everything. I want to try everything out and see how it all works, and play. This is playtime. This is creativity time, and just use your imagination. When the cast comes on, I'll get my wood rounds in the closet and play. Absolutely. And you know what, Dee? If you want to, maybe we can do a live together and play. But don't catch your kitty on fire, okay? I know you craft with your kitty, and we don't want the kitty getting too close to the heat gun, okay? But that would be super, super fun. Of course, if you want to do vinyl, then that'll take care of that, and cat won't get burnt. Bethany says, can't wait to get my crafty spaces clean again so I can get back to crafting. Absolutely. That'd be super nice, Bethany. Oh, I did show off this already because Bethany wasn't in, but here's the thing. Okay, I cannot hold my scan and cut with one hand. I can hold this guy with one hand. So it is really cool. And I saw where someone, and this is something I'm going to be, I know I'll be able to do it because I understood the whole premise of it, but he makes his sentiments using that. He basically does his die cut sentiments. He does all of it, right? He does like a print and cut and does his sentiments if he's got a sentiment that he doesn't have. So it's like, well, that's genius. Why didn't I do that before? Because I could do that with my scan and cut. Will I show the card I made in class today? Yes, I'll show that one. Oh, that's because I showed her earlier. I got too much stuff on my desk because I need to clean up. The class was at 3:00, so we ran a little bit over 4, and I felt like I was rushing, and I'm apologizing now to everybody in the class. But if I went too fast, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to, but I knew that I had a limited amount of time that I could kind of go over if I did go over. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. So this is actually using a couple of die sets from Spellbinders that came out last year. And this is kind of from memory because I made a card almost identical to this last year. Difference is last year I used patterned paper for the background. This year, oh, it's still in there. This year I used a foil plate. A hot foil plate. It's absolutely gorgeous. And right now I'm doing an experiment for the and I forgot that it was over there to do the waste foil onto another piece of cardstock. So this is basically just a bunch of die cuts. And I think most of our time was spent die cutting. And here's the thing, guys. I consider the Joy and the Scan and Cut and my Platinum 6 and dies, all of these things are just tools that you can use to make whatever kind of look you want. So you could find a way to duplicate the same kind of design using your Cricut Joy. Or you could print something out and cut it out by hand. Either way, or you can use the dies like what I did. So here's the die that I use, and this one is just for the mailbox. It comes with some floral pieces to go in it. And then there's a separate one that is specifically Christmas themed. So we cut out all of these guys and stuffed the mailbox. It includes a little envelopes. We've got a couple of little envelopes for Santa. And then we've got a glimmer set that was for the sentiment. So again, it's all these things are things that you could do something similar. The basic design, you could recreate the basic design using your Cricut Joy if you want to. So D says, I can't color, but I can do play with the Cricut and then cut and then laugh and take it off the mat. Or write your own sentiment, die cut around it. I've done this a few times. Absolutely. Yeah, this one is a mailbox and it actually can open. So yeah, I thought that was... Welcome, Kiki. Yeah, that was the thing. I did see someone's video earlier this week where they use their Cricut Joy, and he basically does this all the time. He uses his Cricut Joy to write out his sentiment and then to bubble cut around it. So that I thought I'm thinking, I should have thought of that. I've got to scan and cut too. So now I've got the Cricut Joy that's big, it's small enough to fit on my desk. So yeah, I could basically straighten my camera. I could basically do that as often as I want to without having to turn on my big machine. But they both are going to have a purpose in my craft room. So yeah, this is kind of... Is that a Cricut Joy? My husband came in talking and I had to mute the sound. Yes, ma'am. Cordelia, I got the Cricut Joy. So I've got an unboxing video that I have to edit. It's going to be going up in the next couple of days. And then I do need to take that out and play. And the plan was to play with it with Bethany last week. And then things happened, so we didn't get to do that. Actually, it's my husband's fault. Yeah, it's Todd's fault. I'll blame him. No, it's actually his job. He basically wound up having to do a work call at the same time that my live normally was. So I had to go early, and then because of that, we couldn't get things coordinated. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted. It's like, no, I'm just going to go do something I already know. So instead, I made this. And I think this is super cute. One thing that I wish the little Joy would do that would be really super cool, but I don't think they're not going to do it. Scan and Cut's got the proprietary stuff on it. Is I would love for it to be able to do to cut out stamped images, but that's not going to happen because I like having small things on or around my desk. Yes, my desk winds up getting cluttered, but it's easy access to the things I want to use, and I can use them pretty quick. That's one reason why the Joy is going to be fabulous. I can't wait to get playing with that. Yeah, any more questions? Because it's 5:30. Ellen says, yeah, blame the guy. Yeah, you guys can see, yeah, I've got the blinds thing going on. I do love these. I mean, I love having that. So that means I get more light in here like I want it. It's not as gloomy. I mean, I'm in Florida. It's never gloomy, but when I've got something covering the window the whole time, it kind of, yeah. But now it's going to be nice and cheery. And you're thinking, yeah, don't be bouncing off the walls more. Well, I guess that's going to be about it then. Do we need to wrap up or do you guys have any more questions? Kiki's in Lakeland. Fabulous. Gloria says time to have dinner. So, well, thank you so much, guys, for dropping in and hanging out with me for a bit and tolerating all the weird things happening on my screen. That was kind of fun. I really love that. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful night. Be sure to check out my channel for all the things that I've been doing over there, and come hang out with me on Tuesday, because Tuesday night 5:30 Eastern is when I go live. And then, of course, be sure to get your ticket to the Card Maker Success Summit that is coming up this next month. It's about a month before my next class. I'm not going to promote that heavily yet, but all the things. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your crafty weekend, and I will see you. Post all your pictures and stuff over in the Facebook group. Let us see what you are making, and tag me if you make anything like this so I can see yours. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful